There have been discussions in the field of international relations regarding the inevitability of competition between the United States and China as a result of China's ascent to prominence as a global power. This competition extends beyond the realms of economics and diplomacy and into the arena of military might. In light of the fact that experts are debating whether or not China is capable of challenging the military dominance of the United States, it is absolutely necessary to comprehend the fundamental forces that are driving this rivalry. This video sheds insight on the elements that shape the relationships between the United States and China, as well as the delicate interplay that exists between military strength and ties between the two countries. Historical context. It is possible to gain important insights into the current dynamics of military competition by examining the historical trajectory of relations between the United States and China. Scholars such as Aaron Freiberg, John Mearsheimer, and Richard Betts began to highlight the possibility for a new period of great power competition after the collapse of the Soviet Union. China emerged as a prominent actor in this new century of competition. These issues were first disregarded by some individuals in favor of working together and engaging in activities, but recent developments in international politics have brought them back to the forefront. Tell us, what were the motivating reasons that led to the resurgence of concerns of rivalry among these major powers? Interests of a strategic nature in East Asia. The strategic interests that both the United States and China have in East Asia are at the heart of the conflict between the two countries. Both countries are aware of the significance of the region as a generator of economic growth on a global scale, and they are working to maintain their access and influence in the region. Divergent interpretations of regional supremacy, on the other hand, are a source of friction and rivalry. It is the goal of the United States to prevent any single country, notably China, from establishing an overwhelming influence, which is similar to the techniques that were utilized in Europe during the Cold War. During this time, China is in the process of pursuing a policy that involves exerting influence on its periphery. China views East Asia as being essential to its own security and prosperity. Where do the United States of America and China stand in terms of their strategic interests in East Asia? Growing power and China's ascendancy in the world. China has become a formidable military power as a result of its fast economic growth and efforts to modernize its military. China's trajectory implies a constant development in military capabilities, which raises concerns among policymakers and allies of the United States of America. This is despite the fact that there are arguments over the pace of China's rise. The expanding power of China constitutes a challenge to the existing power balance in East Asia and represents a threat to the strategic interests of the United States in the region. In what ways has China's increased economic growth contributed to the country's rising military power? Misconceptions and views of the world. How do perceptions and misperceptions impact the relationship between the United States and China? The beliefs and misperceptions that both the United States and China have regarding the intentions of the other are at the heart of the competitiveness between the two countries. There is a cycle of suspicion and escalation that occurs when one party takes defensive steps, and the other side frequently interprets those defensive efforts as aggressive advances. Even if China does not have any imminent plans to engage in aggressive behavior, the growing might of China causes its neighbors and competitors to feel dread, which in turn prompts them to take defensive measures and containment strategies. The importance of the United States grand strategy. What impact does proximity have on the grand strategy of the United States in East Asia? The United States grand strategy in East Asia is a significant factor that plays a significant impact in determining the level of competition that exists with China. As evidenced by past examples such as the Cuban Missile Crisis and the Second Berlin Crisis, proximity has the ability to amplify worries and increase tensions. This approach runs the risk of escalating tensions and raising the likelihood of confrontation, despite the fact that there are many who argue for devolving military capabilities to allies as a means of balancing the strength emanating from China. Can China compete with the military power of the United States? Experts in the fields of international relations and military strategy are engaged in a heated discussion about the question of whether or not China is capable of competing with the military force of the United States. Despite the fact that China has unquestionably made great progress in modernizing its armed forces and enhancing its military capabilities, it is still behind the United States in a number of important areas. In the realm of technological prowess, the United States of America possesses a tremendous advantage over other countries. The United States military is able to avoid being detected by hostile radar systems thanks to cutting-edge breakthroughs in stealth technology. These advancements enable the military's aircraft and other platforms to remain undetected. Furthermore, the United States of America is the best in the world when it comes to cyber warfare capabilities. They have the most advanced tools and the most knowledgeable experts to carry out offensive cyber operations and defend themselves against cyber threats. In addition, the United States of America possesses satellite capabilities that are considerably superior than those of any other nation, which enables it to create and maintain unprecedented communication and surveillance networks all over the world. There is little doubt that China's efforts to modernize its military have helped to close the gap with the United States in certain domains. In order to create cutting-edge weaponry, the People's Liberation Army has made significant investments. These investments include the creation of next-generation fighter jets, ballistic missiles, and naval boats. There have also been substantial advancements made by China in terms of improving its capacity for cyber warfare and its space-based assets. On the other hand, in spite of these achievements, China is still struggling to match the technological sophistication and operational capabilities of the United States military. Additionally, the United States of America is able to take advantage of a large network of military alliances and partnerships all over the world. The United States of America is able to more effectively respond to security crises and project its strength on a worldwide scale as a result of these alliances, which boost the military's reach and impact. China, on the other hand, has a relatively small military footprint beyond its immediate periphery, and it does not have the wide network of alliances that the United States does. Beyond the powers of conventional combat, the question of whether or not China is capable of challenging the military power of the United States extends farther. The nature of warfare is changing in the 21st century, and as a result, factors such as cyber warfare, space-based assets, and information operations are playing increasingly crucial roles. China is still facing difficulty in competing with the United States on several fronts, despite the fact that it has made considerable investments in these areas on multiple occasions. How can the United States of America continue to maintain a technological advantage over China in the most important areas? In comparison to the efforts that the United States is making to modernize its military, how does China's initiatives stack up? Changing characteristics of armed conflict. Consideration of the ever-changing nature of warfare is a vital component to take into account while evaluating the struggle between the United States of America and China. It is becoming increasingly common for capabilities in cyberspace, space, and information warfare to enhance traditional metrics of military force. For the United States military strategists, the new difficulties that are presented by China's investments in developing technology and asymmetric warfare methods are significant. What kinds of difficulties do developing technologies and asymmetric warfare methods present for the strategists of the United States national military? As a result of the fact that military might plays a significant part in determining how the United States and China engage with one another, competition between the two countries is unavoidable. The United States of America continues to hold major advantages in terms of technology, alliances, and global reach, despite the fact that China's ascent poses challenges to the United States' military superiority. On the other hand, it is difficult to forecast the outcome of this struggle due to the rapidly changing nature of warfare and the intricate nature of relations between the United States and China. For the purpose of successfully navigating the intricacies of the geopolitical landscape of the 21st century, it is essential to have a solid understanding of the underlying dynamics, as experts continue to weigh in on the subject. Thank you.